Okay. So good and welcome to NZ Money Making class. In today's video, I'll be teaching you on how to trade on futures. And then without much ado, let's get straight down to business. In the previous class, I taught you guys how to do spot trading. So it's not something difficult. Now, the whole concept I taught you about spot trading still applies in futures trading. I'm sure you can see that everything's almost the same. But I just want to recap one thing again on spot trading, then move on. Now, I just want to talk about stop limit. Stop limit is simply you making use of stop loss. The stop is the price you want to use as your stop limit. Now, in the case of crypto is not really like forex, especially when it comes to sports aspect. In the case of crypto, when you make use of this word stop here, you're not setting it below your price. You actually have the ability of setting it above your price. And then this time around, you don't just when you can also set it below your price. Choice is yours. But the beautiful thing about this is that when your trade has started, you can always go back at any point in time to increase your stop limits. So imagine I buy at 90, price has risen up to 95. I can go and put 95 as my stop limit. I can even cancel it at any other time. Maybe price has gone up to 120. I can go and make 115 my stop limit. So you write that here and stop, but please, you have to be on the sell section to do that and stop. Your limit is actually the price you're going to sell it off at. So you can see it's as simple and sweet as that. Now, in the case of buy, the buy case happens when you want to, let's imagine you want to buy a coin at $50. And so since you want to buy a coin at $50, all you simply have to do it, you just go downwards. The market is going downwards. Yes, okay, don't worry, whenever the market gets down to 50, let it buy for me. So what happens if the market does not get down to 50 and maybe the market gets down to 50, 52 and the market begins to bounce up again? In that scenario, what you simply have to do is you have to put stop and tell the market, please, buy for me at 52, just in case the market does not get down to 50 and it has started retracing its step, or buy for me at 53. In that way, once it begins to ride upwards, you get into the market and you don't lose out of the opportunity. So having explained everything about stop, the concept I played out to you about spots, the same thing still applies. So we're headed over to futures. You click down on futures there for you to get started with futures. So when we are looking at futures, what do we see? We have buy, we have sell section as usual. We have limit order. In fact, there are so many: post only market, stop limit, stop market, trailing stop. I'm not going to use all these things. The only thing I'm going to teach you is just market and stop limits. Though the same principle applies to what stop markets. Now, this is for those who want to trade normal futures. The same principle I told you, in the case of futures, you can actually decide to put a buy order even when the price has not gotten up to there. Let's take for instance now ZEC is currently at $62.74. Now I can decide to buy at what? 58. I can decide to buy at 58. So if I'm buying at 58, what does that mean? So if I'm buying at 58, it then means I say, okay, please, I want to buy at 58. So it simply says good and fine, put your price. So anytime market gets down to 58, I enter into the market, I buy, and then it goes up. Or I'm saying that's for those when you want to long. I'll explain all that. When you want to buy, it means you want the price to go up. Now, if you want the price to sell, you can still put the same thing. You go back to sell, and then you choose a particular price and say, okay, I want to sell at 65. But take note that the price is currently at what? 62. So if that happens, your order will actually be kept pending. So every single time, whenever the price gets back up to 65 that you chose, your trade will get executed. So when you buy, you can say I don't have any open positions. When you place an order, it will be in open orders. Once the order has been executed, it will come into position. Now in futures, we have two things. When I was teaching you on spot trading, I told you that on spot trading, one of the things that you have buy and what? Sell. Look at spot here. Let me show you again. You just have buy and sell, and what you see there is sell BCH or what? Buy BCH. Futures makes use of the terminology called long. and then the terminology called short. So when you see buy simply means you are anticipating market is going to go upwards. When you choose sell, it means you're anticipating market is going to go down. Now take note, futures is almost, in fact it is forex, just the same way forex trading is. That's exactly the way futures functions. So if you're buying, longing, which is up, selling, which is downwards, shorting. So if you get a signal and somebody tells you long ZEC or long ZEC, all you simply have to do is that you're predicting market is going to go up. What it simply means that currently ZEC is currently at what, 62.64. So what I am anticipating and I'm saying is that I'm buying ZEC at 62.66. And then all I'm saying is that I am anticipating that ZEC is going to get to what, 66. So after buying, it simply means I'm supposed to go and put a price at what, 66, and telling ZEC to what, sell off. It then means that by the time ZEC gets to 66, I will take what, profit. I will make profit. If you are buying one full ZEC, it means you make an extra money of what, of about $4, right? Good. Now what again are we looking at here? Now, nothing again you need to see about ZEC is if you get a signal and they tell you short ZEC, what it simply means, ZEC is currently at what, 62.65, and then they tell you to short ZEC. It then means that you're anticipating that ZEC is going to do what? Fall downwards. Take notes, terminologies this time around. The approach I use for spot trading is different. Everything on spot trading is always about what? Bull run, bull run, bull run. In futures, nobody's looking at bull run only. People look at both bull run and bear run. So once the market starts going bearish, people are saying, okay, fine, we can still make profit. Whether the market is going up or market is coming down, we can make profit. Now, market is currently at 62. You can go and decide and say, okay, please, me, I want to sell off at 60. And then you type in 60. So it means that if the market moves from 62 down to 60, you have made a profit of what? $2. I just give a simple scenario of how this thing functions. There are still some other factors that matters when taking future trades, and those are some of the things I'm going to deal with now. Now, I have what is called cross and isolated. I've clicked on it. Cross means you have $10. Let's take for instance, if I have $50 in my futures account, please take note that for you to be able to trade on futures, you need to transfer money from your spot wallet to your futures. How do you do that transfer? You come over here, see spot here, see transfer here. You click on transfer, and then once you click on transfer, they'll ask you the amount you want to transfer. Choose the coin. You can see BTC is here. You choose the coin. You click on USDT, and then you type in the amount of USDT. You can write $25 worth, and then you click on confirm transfer. Once you click on confirm transfer, the money will move from your spot wallet. Sorry, take note, what is here is funding wallet. If you bought your coin on P2P, you might need to change from funding to P2P. How do you do that? By clicking on this arrow here. From funding first, you type the amount. If you have up to $25, you move the $25. If it's max, you click on max that is here. You click the $25 and click confirm transfer down here. The money will move to your spot wallet. Once the money is on your spot wallet, I don't think you can move from spot to futures. It's only for, you can only move from funding to spot. Once you have the money on you notice that I've switched spot to the up one. Your spot wallet has to be on top for you to transfer to any other wallet, whether it's margin trading you are doing or futures. So you come over here on funding and you change this funding to what? Futures. So you click on USDM futures. Once you click on that, you type in the amount of money. You can write $25 and then you click on what? Confirm transfer. Instantly your money will move from spot to futures. So having funded take note that I had to change what? The coin. So any coin it is you're using to trade, whether you're using USDT or you want to use BTC to be doing your trade, the choice is left to you. If you're making use of BTC to do your trading, but for me, I love to make use of USDT. You can decide to make use of a particular coin. For instance, if it's BCH that you have in your spot, I'll type in 0.0102 BTC if I have up to that amount, and then I click on confirm transfer. This money, sorry, I have to choose futures first. Now on the aspect of choosing a coin instead of USDT or BUSD, you have to make use of coin M futures. You click on coin M futures and then you type in the amount 0.0012 and then you click on confirm transfer. If I had BTC, I don't have any BTC. You click on confirm transfer. The money will move from what your sports wallet to what your futures wallet instantly. It doesn't take time. So once that is done, you go over to futures, which is at the bottom. You click on it, futures, and then you begin to trade. So I've already shown you. Now once you funded your wallet, so let's say for instance so if I want to buy ZEC, so I was trying to explain now. So I was trying to explain something. You can see this is what ZEC USDT, right? So if for any reason I have what's it called? If for any reason that I have now I have $50 in my account and I want to make use of just $10 to trade on ZEC. When making use of cross, what cross does, simply put, is this. Cross tells you if for any reason my $10, because one thing with futures is that you trade what called leverage. Leverage means, you see, the higher your leverage, the more profit you make. At the same time, the more losses you make. That's the same thing. So if you are making times 10 profits, you're also going to be making times 10 loss. That's a good thing about leverage. Now, and that's how futures actually functions. So now when you come over here, it means if for any reason my $10 gets exhausted, please, Binance, do not take me out of the market. Go into my future wallet and begin to collect the money. So if you did a proper market analysis and for any reason because of your leverage size, the market begins to go against you, what you simply have to do is, oh, market is going against me, not a problem. But my $10, because if for any reason your $10 hits, Binance will send you a message once it's 80%, and they'll tell you your position is about to be liquidated. Please add more funds. If you're not fast enough to add the funds, you get liquidated. Now, there are times whereby markets can go downwards, liquidate you, and after a while, you notice after your liquidation, the market start going back up again in the direction or the trend you chose. And I'll be like, oh no, why? I predicted it was supposed to go upwards. So when making use of cross, what it simply does is that it goes back into your futures wallet and begin to take from it. So if for instance you are making profit on that coin, instead of it to exit the one that you feel is on a loss, you can begin to take profit on that coin and begin to add to it. So that's exactly how cross functions. Now we have what's called isolated. Isolated is once you confirm isolated, you click on confirm. Okay, so once you click on that, what this simply does is that once you click on isolated, it tells you, okay, I think I knew where the problem is coming from. So once you click on isolated and you click confirm, what this simply does is, please, oh, it is $10 I've put here. Binance, don't take more than $10 out of this account. It then means if market prediction goes against you, Binance will liquidate you as soon as they can. They'll first send you a message, those beautiful messages they send. They have lovely messages to send. I don't think they've sent me anyone recently. It's been a very long time, been a while. So they will tell you you've been liquid, your position has been liquidated, and your $10 is gone. That's the consequence of making use of isolated. Now, this is leverage. So here you can say next. For those who are joining futures new, please, you can be trading with 5x until you understand how to make use of futures. Then when you gain more knowledge, you can increase to 20. Binance usually will not even allow you to get up to 20 if you are new on futures. So and then there's a particular amount of money you cannot use if you want to increase your leverage, because you could imagine you using 40x. It then means if the market moves down twice, you could, or 3 times, you will likely get liquidated very quick. So for the purpose of this class, let's say I want to, it means it's times 10. That's what he's simply doing. Let's see, it says, let's see here. Okay, let's say 16x. Please, because of beginners, let me make use of 8x. So that someone will not say, I saw him making use of 20x. That's why. Okay. So, you can type in the amount of money. You can use $5 in trading futures. What it does is something clearly. I think I know what's happening. Just give it a moment, please. See, if you click on this place, it will switch from ZEC to USDT. Currently now, if I clicked on USDT, so the amount of money I'll be entering will be in USDT. If you click on ZEC, it means it's the amount of ZEC you want to buy. But for me, it's USDT I want to buy, so I just want to use $10. And I want to use some to explain to you with the $10. Now for ZEC, I used a lever